So welcome back to our show, everybody. Seth Kamens is right over there. First in show. Well, I guess it's our first show since last Christmas where we are live.
I think so.
This is like our own little Manning cast in which we're watching.
Except the problem is they're getting Monday Night Football between the Rams and the Ravens, and we're getting
Indiana
Notre Dame.
Indiana, Notre Dame, and we're not getting paid $20 million to do it.
What a shame.
It's a pretty big shame. And Indiana actually got positive yards.
There we go.
This is this is the matchup I wanted, the Battle of Indiana. This has been an awful battle so far.
I missed the 98-yard run because I was reading with my daughter. Honestly, that's preferable. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
But, we don't get a chance to host these too often in person. So we figured this was as good a night as any. Tomorrow, the two of us and the little dude are off to Barclays.
Yeah.
For Syracuse, Maryland. Trying to see what else is going on. We kind of
probably move this a little bit closer.
Probably should. We're so used to not doing this in person.
Yeah, that we have. Okay, so there we go. That's right, a little bit. All right, we still got a little halo effect going, but we're all right.
Well, I think we're pretty good.
We're pretty good.
So there's a couple. There's a couple things to talk about. Nothing really overwhelming this week in sports.
Well,
we talked about Soto. So Soto was last week.
Right. So first, let's give our CFP predictions because we're at the beginning of this, right? So let's look at what the bracket looks like, right? Okay. So the CFP bracket, I think we can both basically say that we will pick Notre Dame.
I think we would have done that regardless of how this has played out.
Correct. Yes. But given that where we are, so the first game, obviously Notre Dame up 14-0. And they would play Georgia so Notre Dame Georgia
7-10
would be the 7-10 game. But let's go through the bracket in first round. So Boise State gets a bye, and moving on to SMU and Penn State. I got Penn State going to the finals. So
I have Penn State going down the first round.
Wow. Okay.
So that is our first. That is my upset.
Normally we don't get that.
Yeah, I figured there's going to be one upset here.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Ohio State, Tennessee, whoever wins that game is not an upset.
No, and I think Clemson could beat Texas. So
I know. I think Clemson loses by 712. Clemson
not 11, 12, ladies and gentlemen.
712, 713 to 1.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think Clemson. We'll get to that game in a second.
Yep.
SMU played their worst game of the year against Clemson. Still probably should have won.
It would have saved everybody a whole lot of heartache.
No, I didn't really have too much heartache.
No,
Maryland wasn't going anywhere.
No, but I love the fact that they got Alabama out. So
it is true.
So fair
enough. And we both in touche to the committee for getting it right.
Yeah, first time ever.
Well, to be fair, it's the first time they've had a 12-team tournament as well. My feeling on this is really simple. Alabama's probably a better team, but they haven't been great this season. When you lose 3 games, you lose all credibility to argue the fact.
Right,
but
you
belong in.
Well, and it comes down to the same thing: is you may be the best team, but you're not the best team this year, right? It's all about you have to put into context. If you put everybody in a vacuum, you have, if you're looking at it objectively, you have 3 losses.
Yes,
this is your argument every year for the NCAA tournament for basketball. If you're the 66 team, you should have won more.
Yes.
I mean, it's just that simple.
This wasn't like you lost to the number 1 team, the number 2 team, and number 3
It wouldn't matter. If they had only 2 losses, this would have been a different discussion. You lost 3 times.
And you lost, also who you lost to matters.
No, but I get it. But in this context,
yes,
it doesn't matter. They have 3 losses.
They have 3 losses.
And everybody else has 2. So
actually, they all have 1. Clemson. Think about it. SMU has 1.
Right, but there are teams with 2 losses.
SMU had 2 losses, but the second one counts in the conference championship, and I refuse to count that as a loss.
Okay, but even if you did, Alabama still has 3.
Yes,
there was still 1 more loss than everybody else.
But you're not going to take an ACC team with 2 losses, most likely, because you didn't take Miami. Wasn't even really in consideration over Alabama or over South Carolina or over Ole Miss.
No, but you did take SMU. With 2 losses.
Because the second loss was the conference championship.
Okay, so
as
we said before, there's no reason for these conference championships.
Conference championships are a money grab. Call it what it is. But if you're going to have them, you can't penalize the team.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And especially since Alabama didn't play anything.
Yeah, pretty much you would be rewarding Alabama
for sitting out a championship game,
which, for all intents and purposes, will decentivize. Now, to be fair, for a team like Clemson, who would have had no chance to get in,
that's right.
They were properly incentivized. And look, they got in only because of the brilliance of Kyle McCord.
Yes.
I think you'd like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Syracuse, Penn State. Penn State.
Syracuse is not playing.
Sorry, I forgot that was Big East football, 1993.
No, Penn State was never in the Big East.
Oh, that's right. But they were the independents.
They were the actual they were the roadblock that set off the chain.
That is correct.
By the way, they just posted something on ESPN. Kudos to whoever's doing stats on ESPN. That Indiana is now losing more in the first half in this game than they have in the entire season.
All 12 games combined, which is why Chris Signetti is the coach of the year. So SMU Penn State. Let's be honest. When was the last time Penn State won a real game?
I know, and that's why I'm saying this may be James Franklin's year.
They already have some weird controversy because you saw that their backup quarterback went into the portal.
Yeah,
and that's a whole other discussion on the timing of it.
Well, this early portal season is garbage.
It is
because it ruins teams. Now, not only are players opting out for various reasons due to the NFL, but now they're opting out for portal.
Correct. And if you're going to opt out for the draft,
I get it.
If you're going to opt out for the portal,
I still get it.
I do too. But also, interestingly, the other way you can almost look at it is, let's say Drew Allen gets hurt. Who's the starting player?
Yeah, they don't have a backup.
But if he was here, if I forget the guy's name, I apologize.
Yeah,
and he throws for 375.
He may be the.
Yeah, it's so it doesn't give a true representation. It may also not give a great representation. You people have a chance to kind of prove themselves again playing in these games.
Well, you take the good with the bad, right?
You take it all, and there you have the facts of life. Yeah, it's been a long week.
Wow. Okay, so you're taking SMU.
I don't look. Penn State is, as far as I remember, they beat Michigan in a really terrible year. They beat Ohio State once on a blocked field goal. I don't think they've won any other big games under James Franklin.
Well, but beating Ohio State is kind of important, no?
Once in 10 years?
Yeah, they lost to Ohio State 2013 this year.
Oh, this year it was terrible. Penn State didn't throw. I don't think Penn State threw the ball in the second half against
them. They beat Illinois 21-7.
That's not a
top 20 school. They were 19.
Okay.
They played 3 top 25 schools. They won one and lost it.
Who was the second? Oh, Oregon.
Oregon.
But again, if we say we're not going to punish the team
45-37,
great game.
Yeah,
no one's disputing they belong in. I think also SMU is going to come in with a little bit of a chip. And there was an article, if anyone, I forget if it was the ESPN or The Athletic, about how they pretty much are going to become. Well, you have all these billionaires who are going to start putting money into SMU.
Yeah,
because now that they're kind of deemed as legitimate.
Yeah,
that's why they turned down the 9 years of TV money to get into the ACC. Because you already have, I think it was $45 million was contributed by some oil billionaire.
Yay! Here we go again.
Yeah, and so it was good.
BYU. Anyway, okay.
Grand Canyon U.
Okay, Oregon gets a bye, and Tennessee, Ohio State. I'll take Tennessee over Ohio State.
Does Ryan Day become an offensive coordinator of the New York Jets next year?
God, I hope not. Look, I want Louis Riddick as my GM. He can pick whoever he wants.
I want Louis Riddick as my GM.
I'm taking Tennessee over Ohio State.
I will stay with Ohio State. Okay. I still think they're a better team. Look, they played horrendously against Michigan, and they have not played up to the talent that they have.
This is the 7-10 game. I think either one of them loses to Oregon. This is like the
8-9 game.
No, I'm saying this is like the 7-10 game in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Like you can win this round, but I don't see you winning the next one.
Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, fair enough. So I will go with Ohio State.
Okay, and then Texas, Clemson. Look, I think Clemson has a shot, but I don't think they'll win. So I'll take Texas.
Yeah, I think Texas blows them out.
Luckily,
that'll be the 12:00 noon game tomorrow, which we'll be skipping as we watch Maryland beat Syracuse.
No, it's 4:00.
Oh no! Is the SMU Penn State game?
SMU is 12:00.
Okay, so we'll see the end of that at Dinosaur Barbecue.
We will, and then we'll turn into NFL games. And tomorrow's a full day of football. You have 3 games here, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 games in the NCAA. You have Kansas City, Houston at 1, and then you have a 4:20 Baltimore-Pittsburgh. Baltimore-Pittsburgh is a great game.
It is.
We're going to be home for the end.
We'll be home for probably more than that.
Well, depending on traffic, right?
Oh,
so the game starts at noon. It's over at 2.
We go to Dinosaur
so
for
3:30-ish.
Come home at 5.
Yeah, so we'll be home. All right. And then we fight Carly to make sure that we can watch the rest of the game.
You're not going to have the problem. I'm going to have the problem with damn Jake's getting punished.
Jake can't watch the game.
Jake can't watch the game.
Maybe Jake can do something in the morning to
we've already said he's not watching in the morning. I'm hoping I can be.
No, I'm saying like maybe he could do something good to facilitate some good behavior, good credit.
Or we'll have to stay at the bar longer in Brooklyn.
Oh, you see, I have no problem with that.
I know you don't.
Okay. It'll be my people.
It will be your people. It will not be mine. But
No.
you know what?
You don't care.
I don't care. Number one, because I'll be watching football and basketball,
and you get a day off.
Football. Number two, I get a day off with my best friend and my best little dude. And number three, I'm going to sports.
That's a great stat. So Notre Dame, if you're watching ESPN,
it does feel like the Manning cast right now.
40 players took a final exam yesterday. You know, of all the teams, you have to believe Notre Dame actually does keep their academics.
The weird other one is SMU, ironically.
I'm not
That's a
surprised.
good school.
Yeah.
Mostly Texas is a good school. I mean,
The question is whether they actually go to class.
yeah, Notre Dame, we know they do.
We know they go to class in Notre Dame.
Doesn't mean I'll root for them.
So I mean, before we move on, Jake had asked, do you ever root for Notre Dame? And the answer is definitely no. Never. Can you name a team that you would root for Notre Dame over that other team?
Maybe Miami.
No, definitely not.
Well, I'm thinking back to the older days.
No, definitely not. I was a Miami football fan.
Good Lord.
I was Miami football. Wait, you get this. Miami and Syracuse football and Georgetown and Syracuse basketball. Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah. And I
Actually, to be fair, I rooted for Maryland and Duke, so who am I to swear?
And when I went to Syracuse, I wore a Georgetown sweatshirt. Like the third day I was there.
Did you get beat up?
No, but somebody came up to me and said, "You need to take that off." I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "You haven't been here long enough." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And this is the heart of the Big East. So, I mean,
fair enough.
This is where the Big East was rolling. So, okay. So, all right. So let's presume Texas wins. Texas and Arizona State. Arizona State got a bye. Arizona State did not deserve a bye.
No, that was the rule. That's the
rule.
They'll change.
That's the rule. Well, I'm not sure they'll change.
Oh, they'll change it. I have no doubt they will.
So I will take Texas over Arizona State.
As will I. Although Arizona State's had a really nice run this year. I mean, they were the last seed. They were supposed to be number 16 in the Big 12, which sounds ridiculous in general. How do you number 16 in the Big 12?
Yeah, no idea.
Welcome to new college world. I'll take Texas as well.
So Quinn Ewers is a junior.
Yeah.
Any chance that guy comes back again?
I wonder if he transfers.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's the senior transfer, and Arch stays.
Yeah, well, they can't do this again next year.
And Arch isn't going anywhere.
No, I mean Arch is not running for the next dollar because let's be honest, he really doesn't need it.
And he probably has more NIL money.
Cooper's kid.
Oh please! If my rich uncle was Peyton Manning, I wouldn't be wanting for money anyway.
Yeah,
and NIL money, he's probably got $1 million the minute he's saved.
Well, so does yours. So maybe that's who Syracuse goes after.
Arch Manning or Quentin Ewers? No,
you'd be happy with either one.
Sure, but we're not getting those guys. I mean, first of all,
you don't have the money to do it.
First of all, Kyle McCord may be coming back.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And second of all, Ricky Long from LSU.
Who was Ricky Weeks?
No, Ricky Weeks is the second baseman. That's why I kept messing up.
Oh, you told me it was Ricky Weeks.
I did, and I messed it up because Ricky Weeks was the second baseman.
It was Richie Weeks. Was it Ricky Weeks?
Maybe Ricky. Well, Richie and Ricky, I think, are the same.
Okay. No, there's only one Ricky, and he talks like Ricky. He talks about Ricky as third person because
it's all about Ricky.
It's all about Ricky.
Okay. You're presuming Ohio State wins. I'm presuming Tennessee wins, and
I'll take Oregon.
And I'll take Oregon either way.
Although I think that's the best game of the
and that's played in the Rose Bowl. So they were talking on ESPN. I'll echo that sentiment. I love the fact that the first round is at the home state.
Yes, agreed. Because nobody would be going to this game if it was in
anywhere else. Peach Bowl. Nobody's going to the game, right?
Yeah.
If it's the only way that somebody's going, no, you know what? If that game was played at Lucas Oil Stadium, everybody would go.
Yeah,
but the problem is you can't predict in advance to get that stadium.
Correct.
Right? So you could say that the first round was in Lucas Oil Stadium, but you wouldn't be able to predict that this would be the game that would go there. So, because that needs to be reserved way in advance. And it is damn cold there.
It's 30 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
You got soft, dude. You live in Atlanta.
No, I just don't want to be outside. It's not that I can't tolerate it.
Oh, it's nice. It's actually, I would be playing paddle right now.
Wait, hold on. Paddle on a heated court.
Well, it is still cold, dude. Pick that.
All right. Okay. You have SMU, I have Penn State, and they are playing Boise State.
Wow. SMU Boise State is like the 12-13 game in the second round of the NCAA.
In the Fiesta Bowl.
There you go. I'll go.
Where nobody's going to be.
No one's going.
So Boise State,
Boise State will travel.
It would be worse than losing the Orange Bowl, but.
Yeah. No, Boise State is the first time they're getting to really play in this kind of world. Boise State, I'll have Boise State over SMU.
Okay. Well, I'll have Penn State over Boise State. Okay. So Penn State makes a second underdog appearance although they may be the favorite in that.
Of course, they're going to be the favorite,
even though they're the lower seed.
Yes. It's like Texas or Arizona State.
Okay. Notre Dame, we're presuming Notre Dame, facing a Carson Beck-less Georgia, which I think will actually benefit Georgia. So
you think the backup, the front?
I don't. My opinion on Carson Beck. I'm not a fan.
Are you a fan of his Lamborghini?
Yes, of course. I am picking Georgia anyway to win this game against Notre Dame.
Where is this game?
This game is in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl. It'll be an even distribution of people. Notre Dame travels.
I know they.
Georgia definitely travels.
Without
Beck.
Without Beck, it's not a great Georgia team.
It's ain't a great Notre Dame team.
Well, there's no great team this year.
Well, there's no great Notre Dame team in the last 20 years.
No, it's not since 1989.
Tim Brown?
Tim Brown, the team that won it with Rocket Ishmael.
That was 87, and that was.
Wait a minute. They didn't win the title. They beat
Colorado. 89, they did not win the title.
They won the title wasn't Tim Brown. It was Tony Rice.
I know, but that wasn't 89.
Tony Rice beat West, was it 87?
Right, it was 87. That's what I was saying. Tim Brown was 89 Heisman.
Was he the 89 Heisman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got him.
Nope.
Nah, good run. I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Okay. So you have Notre Dame against Penn State. Or actually, Notre Dame against SMU. No, you have Boise State. So, okay, in a game that people will watch at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, but nobody's. See, the problem is you can't afford to go to 3 games. So
this game is awful.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, if you have Notre Dame, Boise State in the Final Four, that's no bueno.
I will go with Notre Dame.
And then, okay.
I'm not saying it's going to work out great.
No, and then Notre Dame will get plastered by anybody in the finals.
Probably.
And again, my problem is that again feeds into the Notre Dame aura of we made a national championship game. It kills me. All right. So Arizona State, Texas.
Texas.
Okay, I will agree. Texas, Oregon. I will agree. So we have Oregon.
You have Oregon, Penn State in a rematch of the Big Ten championship.
No.
Yes.
Notre Dame didn't play in the Big Ten.
I have Notre Dame. You have Penn State.
Oh, right. I have Penn State. I have a rematch. And I will pick Penn State to win.
Wow.
I'm going out.
Okay. So if you do that.
And you will pick Oregon.
I'll take Oregon over Notre Dame pretty easily.
Penn State, yeah.
No, as I look at this, I think the 3 best teams in the country are in one region. I think it's Oregon, Texas, and Ohio State are probably the 3 best teams in the country.
Yeah, that's why Penn State's not in that bracket. That's why I can pick them to win.
That's why I have Notre Dame going.
Yeah. Look at this.
Perfect. Where was this when we were making these picks? But I don't know. This is not a strong year in college football.
Well, we've said that before.
Yeah.
Right.
We haven't talked that much college football because usually we end up talking about pro and fantasy.
Sure. But we got that later.
Yeah, of course we will. Because our bye is over and we're now a 50-50.
And injuries have once again hit our team.
Because what else is new?
We need Joe Flacco. Anyway.
He ain't walking through that door.
And he also ain't starting this. He also ain't starting this week.
Yeah. No, Oregon has been the best team all year. Ohio State is still the most talented team all year. They just haven't played well.
I agree.
Um,
And Penn State is the most underachieving team of all year.
no, they haven't underachieved. They've gone exactly where you expected them to go. No, Florida State's been the most
Oh, well,
underachieving
yeah.
team of all year.
And they're still going to keep their coach.
He just has to give back $5 million.
Does he? Is that the?
He's giving back $4.5 million towards either NIL or something. I wonder if this is what they're going to now do.
You
I think
can keep. Well, I mean,
You're
that
gonna offer
happened with
these
Mike
9
Gundy, right?
Right. I think it may have happened with Brian Kelly too. That if you're giving these guys $10 million a year, $9 million a year, and your team goes freaking 6-5,
And you want to keep your job,
you give back a little bit of dough,
and then you'll get it back in incentives. Or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Well, that's what happens in the NFL, right? NFL, when you restructure contracts, right?
Yes.
We're going to cut you down to $1 million. I mean,
$1.5 million.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking $1 million is a bit small amount. But you have a $10 million contract. Let's say Derrick Henry suffers for 2 years. He's got an $8 million contract. We're going to cut you, or we'll give you $1.5 million, and we'll give you incentives for $9 million.
Yes.
So make it back, right? A little bit different in a cap world of the NFL versus coaches, but that may be the way you keep your job, and it's much easier to get a new job when you have a job. As you don't have any of that problem.
I do not. I have a problem keeping people.
Yes, you do.
Did I tell you someone quit?
Again?
Yeah.
This is an every week thing.
Unbelievable. 60-year-old. She decided she didn't like Mark.
Was she working for Mark?
She worked on one big client for Mark, and she liked not being management, but she hated being managed.
No, it's generally A or B. There's really
Yeah.
no.
Oh, bad pass. Lucky it wasn't
picked. And for 6. Okay, so all right, we have our Heisman Trophy being Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I would not have gone that way, but I'm not going to make a big stink out of it.
Why would you not make a big stink out of it? That's my bigger question.
Because he's the best two-way player since Woodson.
Okay, but that doesn't necessarily. Mike Lorenzen before Shea Otani was the best two-way player in baseball.
Who's Michael Lorenzen?
That's my point. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean that.
I believe Ashton Johnson should have won the Heisman.
Right. No, my point is
who's Michael Lorenzen?
Michael Lorenzen is a pitcher that also got 150 at bats. He was the best two-way player before Shea Otani. But my point is, just because you're the best two-way at something doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player.
Like, if he didn't play at Colorado, he didn't get the publicity through
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
You guys going to go after Coach Prime? I'm going to have fun.
You guys being
the Jets.
No.
No. Can you imagine the Jets? Can you imagine prime time with Woody Johnson?
No.
By the way, did you read the Woody Johnson article?
Yes. We're going to be playing Madden later, by the way.
Oh, God. But I mean,
why do I have to have bet? You know what? Thank you, Uncle Steve. Thank you, Uncle Steve. There you go, Uncle Steve. I finally may be able to have nice things. Maybe.
You may.
Maybe.
Until he tears an ACL and is out for 2 years and he loses.
You know what, though? At least I have an owner that is trying.
That is true.
Okay.
Look, I can't argue with the Yankees.
Wait, let's finish with football.
Take your win for
let's.
You went over to.
I did. Let's. So you believe Gentry should have won?
Yes.
I believe Gentry should have won. Hunter is an unbelievable talent.
Yes.
But not the best player in college football. That's where I come down. And I am sick and tired, seriously, of seeing all these posts and whatnot. Gentry faced like only 3 teams in the top 100 rushing. Well, guess what?
Well, when you rush
for 300 yards, you kind of lose that.
Yeah. And by the way, one of those teams is the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah. Who gave up more yards to him than in the average that they normally
get? They
give.
gave 190 yards to him,
and they averaged
7 yards a carry.
Right. So what I would take from all those people is take out his game and then tell me where they're ranked.
Right, which we couldn't do.
Oh, you could.
Can you do that?
Take out his game.
Yes,
take out the remainder of the yards, and then you look at the rest of the year and you see where he would be.
You have a lot of time on your hands.
Well, it's kind of like saying Nikola Jokic, they average 116 points with him on the court, and they average like 94 points with him off the court, which makes him the MVP of the year. Because any player that changes the point differential
By 24 points.
24 points
Yeah.
should be the MVP.
Yes.
But again, I digress. Okay. So, all right. So we have our championship. You are taking Oregon,
Oregon over Notre Dame.
and I have Penn State over Notre Dame,
So what changed?
which is awful.
Mine's no better. The last time Notre Dame was in a national championship game, I skipped it to go on a date.
I
Against
don't
Alabama.
remember. Oh no, I watched that game.
And then the girl lied on her picture.
So what was worse?
I
I was in a Jersey bar for that game. I remember that game.
How were you in a Jersey bar?
I was visiting other people. I was in Jersey.
Wow.
I was in just Jake's or Jake's. I was in Jake's in Montclair.
Montclair?
In Montclair.
I was there a couple months ago. I was the oldest guy there.
I was just about to say, I felt old when I was there.
Yeah.
This is like
It was
9 years
we
ago.
went
Already.
there 3 months ago. It was us in the castle maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
You were there. You were way old.
Still am.
I know, but I'm saying like you were way old to be in that
Good
bar.
music. Good music though.
Oh, it's 80s music. It can't be bad.
Of course.
And beers are no longer $4.
No, they're not. But
Put a 1 in front of it, maybe you get a good beer.
well, you don't go there for a good beer.
No, you got there
went
for Bud Light.
We did, but we went for a good dinner though.
You ate dinner at Jake's?
No.
I was like, oh,
You think my wife would eat dinner at Jake's?
I didn't know your wife was with you.
Of course she was.
How would I know that? I didn't think your wife would frequent Jake's.
Oh no, she likes that kind of stuff. First of all,
She likes dive bars?
it was 80s music,
That I get.
and
But it was after
she went up
7
to me.
p.m.
Yeah, well, sometimes she's fun after 7 p.m. Most of the time she's not, but sometimes. And then she went up to me afterwards. She's like, "Is it me or are we the best looking girls in the bar?" And I'm looking around like, "You guys are actually the 2 best looking girls in the bar." And I actually didn't have to lie
Do you normally lie to your wife?
all the time.
Okay.
How do you think I stay married?
Just making sure.
I lie about the little things.
Like you're the most beautiful woman in the bar.
No, that one I was telling the truth.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So, by the way,
If you've never seen the show, this is actually how we talk in real life, as opposed to.
what happens is if you've never seen the show is we normally are just after work, and
Yes.
or during work,
Or during work, so.
or during busy season, or during a contract negotiation. So we're trying to do 13 things at once, and we're sitting with the laptop in front of us. So we're preoccupied with 13 other things.
Yes.
This is probably one of the few shows of the year that both of us are not doing a damn thing.
Right. But we're watching a boring football game.
Right. And this is what we do generally from 9 to 10 every day.
Yeah.
It's
Typically,
this
we're
type
on the
of
phone
conversation.
9:30, and this is kind of how it works.
This is how it works. So 17-3 Notre Dame at the end of at the half. I have yet to see anything that Indiana has done that will make this game any more interesting.
Sure.
All right.
Are you going to play like a champion today?
I play like a champion every day. But
Damn.
Bang. Okay. Your Yankees
My Yankees.
have recovered to a degree from the loss of Mr. Soto.
Did I ever sound devastated by the loss of Mr.
I didn't
Soto?
say you were. Your team was made worse,
Of course.
right? Of course. And I don't want to hear anybody that says my team is better without one Soto.
No, that'd be stupid.
But that has happened. The
From
team.
me, by me?
No, not by you. But others have also.
What legitimate Yankee fan thinks the team is better without one Soto?
Well, they believe that we can use that money for other things
That is true.
and make it better. No, you can't. So an objective stat is wins again over
WAR.
wins against replacement value. Juan Soto was over a 6.5 last year,
Right.
6.6 I think, or 6.7.
He was
right? third
in the
in
league
third in the
behind
league.
Otani and Judge.
The Judge, right?
And wins, so I think fourth.
Okay, so you figure 7 wins. Okay, you get Max Fried, good
Good
pitcher, good pickup. Don't like the length of the salary, but you know what? This is what you play, right? If you want to play in the sandbox, this is the admittance fee. And if you're the Yankees, quite frankly, you don't care. It's money. You print money. You should be able to do whatever you want. Okay, so you get Max Fried. You get Clay Bellinger. I love that trade.
You get Clay Bellinger's the dad.
Oh, sorry. You get Cody Bellinger.
Wait a minute.
No.
Was it Clay? Damn it! Now I'm forgetting this.
All right, we're looking this up. Bellinger. This is what we also do. It's Cody is today's outfielder.
How did I forget that?
Clay is his father.
Is his father? Okay.
So you were right. You said Cody.
I said
I said Clay. You said that was the father.
okay. Yeah.
So Cody loved the pickup,
Yeah, they gave up nothing for him,
and all you got to do is pay him, which
Correct.
is the perfect thing for the Yankees to do, which is what the Yankees should always do.
and Chicago's covering some of the bill anyway. I think they threw in $5 to $10 million.
And who cares?
Right. It's pretty much the same as Rizzo's deal for all intents and purposes.
Right. You're not re-signing Rizzo.
Agreed.
And he's also 28 years old, as opposed to
It feels like he's been around a long time.
he has. But the fact is, he is a better player. He can play first base or center field. This is the perfect spot for him. Also, his wife knows another player on the team very well. So,
Well, I'm not sure that makes them better.
oh no, that just makes it more
There
interesting.
we go.
For those that are unaware, Giancarlo Stanton's ex is now Bellinger's wife. So, play that out.
Well, or it could be like me, Carly, and Justin Raz.
No,
Okay,
it can't be.
just checking.
No, it can't be. It can't be. So I love the pickup of Bellinger. I do.
Agreed.
I love the pickup of Fried
Agreed.
in a vacuum.
I like the pickup of Devin Williams.
I like the pickup of Devin Williams if he stays healthy. Bellinger, same thing. If he stays healthy, Fried, the same thing. If they stay healthy, those three guys have had a history of not being healthy,
Correct.
as opposed to Soto, who has had a history of always being healthy.
Correct.
Now, they bring a lot more to the table. But for anybody that says, "Oh, we took Juan Soto's money and split amongst these three players and we got better," no, you didn't.
No.
You didn't.
No.
You just got even with where you were. But you don't have with Bellinger. You have the ability to perhaps get better.
I was going to say Bellinger has the most upside of all these.
Oh, by far, because Fried, you signed at what he is.
Right. My expectation is he will be their number 2. He'll be a 15-8 pitcher, something along those lines.
That's Fried.
I mean, yeah,
Bellinger.
sorry.
No, I think Bellinger has the most.
Bellinger
upside.
has no. I meant Bellinger has the
Oh,
most. upside.
okay.
But we're signing Fried to be the number 2 for the next 5 years.
But you also signed Carlos Rondon to be the number
No,
2.
that hasn't worked too well.
That's what I'm saying.
But his contract has 2 more years? He was 5 years, 150. Is he 3 years left?
3.
Okay, so he moves down to being the 3. Gill is the 4. Schmidt's the 5. Stroman, we trade for garbage. Stroman was a disappointment. I thought he would have been better.
Yeah, well, Stroman is a me first pitcher that has always been a me first pitcher, coming from the Mets. So
you get them.
Watching this.
Okay, we're watching the 98-yard run, which was a really pretty run.
Beautiful. That's called another gear. You and I have never had that gear.
You may have had it at one point.
You know what that gear is? That's 5th on the Audi outside. That is not anything I can do.
Fair enough. So anyway, yes. Now there's a couple of players still out there. Corbin Burns is still out there. It's just
If you get Corbin Burns, you have made that team better.
we're not getting Corbin Burns. I think we're going after the Japanese pitcher.
So is everybody.
Yeah, but it's the first time a Japanese pitcher has taken a Yankee. He's taken a meet with the Yankees.
Right. They
Wow.
made with the they met with the Yankees. They met with the Mets. They're going to
Yeah.
meet with the Dodgers. They're going to meet with the Padres.
Now,
they're
here's
gonna
the
meet with
question.
the Mariners. It's going to be one of those.
Here's the question: who the hell is your pitching staff?
Oh, I'm not saying the Mets are better than the Yankees.
No. I'm not saying it's a defensive question. I'm legitimately asking. You re-signed Manea.
No, we didn't.
I thought you did.
No, we'd like to, but we didn't.
So who is on your pitching staff right now?
So
Is Paul Wilson walking through that door?
no, but Jason Isringhausen is right behind him.
There you go.
all
it Generation K?
Yes.
Who was the third one? Was it
It's Paul Wilson, Jason
wasn't Harvey.
Isringhausen, and Bill Pulsifer.
Jesus Christ? What a bust that was.
And the fact that I remember that is kind of.
And I remember it was Generation K.
That was Generation K. Yeah. Okay, so if you're looking at the Mets roster depth right now, so I know you got Cody Senga, David Peterson, Frankie Montas. That's the guy we
That's who they
signed.
signed. Who?
Clay Holmes. You know very well Clay
Yeah.
Holmes.
I mean,
He's moving into
starting-
the rotation.
take a shot on it.
And Griffin Gannon.
Who?
And, right, exactly.
Now,
look,
to be fair, I'm not as big a baseball guy as you.
our rotation is not great.
No.
Our rotation is not great. And we have yet to re-sign Pete Alonso, and we might not. And if he wants $30 million, we shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
Because
nor
if
should the Yankees.
Right.
And I don't think they are now that Bellinger's. Unless you're going to play Bellinger at center, move Dominguez to left.
Which would kill your defense. killing.
Why? Bellinger's is a good defensive player.
Right, but Dominguez's best position is center field.
Field.
So you're moving the 21-year-old guy off the left. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. So you play Bellinger at first.
I play Bellinger at first. I play Judge in right. I play Dominguez in center.
Or we need to get a left fielder. But
you find the easiest position in baseball to find is the left fielder. That's like finding a punter in football. Well, I could say a kicker, but we saw what Justin Tucker has done this year, so it's not easy.
Does that make you sad?
It does. It made me sad to look. We can move on to football because here we are. It makes me sad that he's no longer on our team. We don't have him or Joe Willie Flacco on this team.
You know who we also don't have? Le'Veon Bell. Or Antonio Brown.
Or Ben Roethlisberger. But those guys aren't in the game anymore. We don't have two guys that are actually in the game.
Well, first of all, we're not really missing Joe Willie Flacco.
But we're missing prime Justin Tucker. We relied on prime Justin Tucker for 12 years.
I don't think we had him that many years.
We've had him a lot of years.
So for those of you who don't know, obviously Sean has a lot of man crushes.
I do. I've had three specific ones.
Ryan Shazier.
Ryan Shazier was my all-time man crush. Who else you got? Who are my other man crushes for football?
Flacco really
was not a man crush.
Not one of them.
Nope. Tucker is definitely a man crush. Who's my third?
Give me a position. Oh, why? Is it Tyler Lockett?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett.
And now we have his replacement.
We do. And JSN may be our keeper next year. And we have Gino too. Look, we have made the semifinals with a team that once again has been depleted due to injury. We need Derrick Henry to have a game tomorrow.
That's gonna be tough
against Pittsburgh. If you have followed the cast, you know that we generally are in this position every year. Where last year we won with Easton Stick. He's so irrelevant, I don't know his name.
Easton Stick and Joe Flacco.
Are quarterbacks. Now, we did pick up Michael Penix this week as a replacement. We spent a good amount of money on him and Eddie Guerrero, who also is out this week. So,
but we got Guerrero the week before.
Right, but I'm saying we spent $170. $175 of our fab this year on three players. Do you remember the three? You know two.
Two are Guerrero and Penix.
Do you remember the third? We spent $23 on this player. He never played for us.
I was gonna say,
not one down.
Was it the Kansas City running back?
You're there.
Was it the guy, the porn name?
Yes, Carson Steele. Well done. Done.
Thank you.
We have spent $176 of our fat money on those three players.
This is why we are not going to be the GM for the Jets or Giants anytime soon.
Right. Meanwhile, Guerrero didn't play for us last week.
Nope. Well, we had a bye, to be fair.
Sorry, the week before he didn't play. Did he?
He did.
Oh, he played 1 week. Penix is going to play week 1 this week, and we got nothing out of Carson Steele.
He's just a great name.
And so we'll see. Like
we're 50-50.
We're definitely primed for a championship if we win this week, because hopefully we get Guerrero back.
I love that we're depending on Guerrero for our championship.
We were okay, and last year we depended on Easton Stick.
Last year was the greatest. This is why fantasy is so great.
Because you could screw it all up and still win.
The way I look at I was in the play. I'm in 5 leagues. I was in the playoffs in 4. In 3 leagues, I had Jameis Winston on 2 teams and played against them on the 3rd.
And you won in all 3?
No, I lost the game. The game I played against Jameis Winston, I lost. Jameis Winston had negative points. Who were my quarterbacks? Josh Allen and Sam Darnold. And that's who I lost with versus
Jameis Winston.
But the 2 teams I had Jameis Winston on, we won by 70.
Well, and I will tell you again, so I commissioner 2 leagues. 1 league I have never won and been in like 26 years.
Was that the Susan Lucci where you've been you've been like 30?
Yes. And this year,
for those of you who don't know Susan Lucci, just Google Susan Lucci Daytime Emmy. That should be enough.
That should be enough, and that's my status on this type of fantasy. But I also play in another league. We're called the Greatest Show on Paper. Is my work league. I think it's a great name for the legal team, the Greatest Show on Paper. Of course, it's a bunch of lawyers doing fantasy football, which is amazing.
Well, because that's all they do.
Right. So I forgot to reset the playoff settings. So each of my playoffs, there's 2 rounds. Each playoff round is 2 weeks long.
That's actually pretty good, though.
Except week 18 stinks.
Oh, that is a disaster.
So you're playing 16, 17, 18, 19.
There is no.
Oh, sorry, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That's
so,
what you stink as a commissioner, dude.
I do.
You're in the Bate /
But it's even worse because in week 15, I was outscored by 114 points. I mean,
well, you'd be out. Now, instead of being out,
I have a 9% chance of winning at the beginning of the week. So let me just tell you, props to this girl, Cara Mia, who is beautiful, but props even more. Her name is C.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
This was last week. What she put up? She put up 249 points.
All right, let me see if I can guess.
By the way, quarterbacks are 4 points apiece.
Wow.
And she put up 249.
Let's see what I can come up with here.
Pull this out.
Josh Allen?
Yes.
How many quarterbacks? 1 or 2?
2 quarterbacks.
Okay. Give me an idea on the second. Like, are we talking a 50-pointer? Or are we talking like
30-pointer?
Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Okay.
2 running backs.
Saquon didn't have a great game. Henry didn't have a great game.
So 1 quarterback at 21 points.
1 running back, you mean?
1 running back at 21 points. And 1 running back had 30 points.
Aaron Jones? Or Josh Jacobs? No.
Josh Jacobs is 1.
Okay. It's going to be pretty damn hard to guess the other running backs.
James Conner with 30 points.
Jeez.
Okay. 3 wide receivers.
Evans.
Nope.
Adams.
Yep.
McLaren.
In the wide receiver tight end slot. There's a flex, no running back flex, but a wide receiver tight end flex.
That's wild.
Oh, yeah, this is a wild league. I wanted it this way.
Okay, so
there's 2 wide receivers.
2 wide receivers.
You got 2 wide receivers left and a tight end left.
Okay. Did any of the other wide receivers have a big?
Oh yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No. So 1 wide receiver had 32, and the other one had
Jordan Addison.
19.
Jordan Addison.
No.
Jefferson.
Nope. Brian Thomas has 32.
He's been so good.
And Jackson Smith and J-Will had 19.
There you go.
Then you have Travis Kelce as your tight end, who did nothing. You have the Green Bay defense from last week, who got 16. And then you have Tyler Bass,
who had like 15 but missed a 20.
Who had 14.
He missed a 20-yard field goal.
So 249.18.
Damn.
Outscoring me by 103. I have a 9% chance this week.
But they say there's a chance.
Dude. I need Barkley to go for like 400 yards, which is not going to happen against Washington.
Probably not.
I mean, my lineup, you just heard hers. Daniels and Rodgers as quarterbacks, not bad.
Daniels' matchup is terrible.
Against Philly, yeah. And I did pick up Penix, and I'm thinking about swapping Daniels for Penix. Because at this point, it's just Taylor and Barkley, both horrible matchups against Tennessee and against Washington.
Yeah, I picked up Taylor for if I make the finals in my other league.
Oh, this is why I really screwed the pooch. Hello, Cooper Kupp and Jawan Jennings combined for 5 points. 5 points on a Thursday night.
Thanks, Coop.
Cooper with the big fat freaking 0.
Was that the Fight the Power sign?
No, it's a big fat freaking 0 side. You can go like this, Cooper Kupp. Thank you so much.
Hey, he won us a championship.
And I'm not the only person that said that last Thursday, by the way. Shakir and Hawkinson and Metcalf. Metcalf did nothing again.
Yeah, why would you start Metcalf hasn't done anything all year.
Yeah, so my backups are Keenan Allen, McMillan, Keon Coleman, and Garendo. I had nothing to do anyway. Like, her team She's got Mixon on the bench
Jeez.
along with Baker Mayfield.
You think she'll trade us Baker Mayfield to the other league?
I would love it. So, look, quarterbacks are not our problem in the other league.
No.
Penix and Rodgers will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Penix I like the idea of anyone against the Giants, let's be honest.
Except for Derrick Henry.
Oh.
Except for Derrick Henry.
Luckily, it didn't matter for me, but geez.
Except for Derrick Henry with 9 points. Now, the only thing that we can hope for is Derrick Henry's bad week last week means a good week this week. But
wow,
he's playing
that's really
Pittsburgh.
profound.
But he's playing Pittsburgh. Okay. We got 5 minutes left.
Do we have 5 minutes?
We
Are
have
we
5
already at
minutes
that
left.
point?
We are.
Holy crap.
We're at 46 minutes.
So let's talk a little. I mean, so your team is going nowhere. My team is going
In football.
usually in football. Usually, you're asking me these questions. I'm going to ask you:
Yes, please.
Are the Giants replacing their GM and their coach?
No, because they're the Giants.
They really don't want to have to do this again, do they?
No. But I will tell you, I don't think the Giants have done a bad job. That's the difference. I don't think, look, if you look at the Giants draft picks, this twosome, Shane and Dable, inherited Daniel Jones. They didn't draft Daniel Jones.
Correct.
Okay? So is that on them? I don't know. If it's not on them, let's say it's not on them, okay? And the contract was definitely not on them.
Yeah, I cannot. Well,
it was a choice.
Correct. And because he was going to go to Indy, most likely.
Well, no, it was a choice of Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley. It was a choice.
And typically, you keep the quarterback over
and
the
you
running
let the running back go. And unfortunately, you're going to see what the running back's going to do.
Yeah,
which is probably break the NFL record for rushing yards.
It'll be pretty close. I mean, the problem is this. We remember we talked about this when they re-signed him. I didn't have an issue with the re-sign because he had warranted it based on the year that he had.
Correct.
What I didn't understand was the amount.
Well, but the amount was the amount for 2 years. You had the out anyway. So, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's where you are.
That's where you are. You had a 2-year, $80 million deal with the ability, if he became what we hoped he would become, it would be a 4-year, $160.
And if he became what everybody thought he would be, then it would be a 2-year deal. And that's where we are.
And then
I don't think, look, the good part is for your fan base is that your owner is a better owner than mine.
Yes.
Okay. And he's less impulsive than mine. And he doesn't play Madden, which mine does. Or at least he doesn't listen to his kids.
Who play Madden. But look, to be fair, the Giants, I think, did a really good job with this year's draft.
That's what I'm saying. They've done
last year's draft was terrible. I mean, 2 years, Evan Neal is a bust.
Yes.
Kalen Thibodeau is, while not a bust,
he's hurt.
He hasn't been worthy of the 7th pick overall.
No, that's true.
Or 5th. I forget which one was 5th.
Look, the loss of McKinney is just as bad as the loss of Barkley. And that's...
Yeah, but the thing was, McKinney was a nice player with the Giants. He was not the impact player he is in Green Bay.
That's true, but okay. But normally players on their first contract are not the impact players, right? Unless your name is Kyle Hamilton. By the way, man crush Kyle Hamilton because I think between him and Lindenbaum,
you may be Ravens.
That draft, I wanted both those players as my guys.
Oh, if you ever want to have a good laugh, call Sean the day of either the NBA draft or the NFL draft. One of my most fond memories
is Josh Allen and Tyler Hansborough.
No,
not Tyler Hansborough. Sorry,
Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton. TH.
Yeah, I remember calling him.
Oh my lord!
After the
it wasn't after. It was during
the Obi Toppin pick.
Not Obi. Not Obi. Not
just
Obi.
Laughing.
Fucking Obi. That's where it was.
So remember 10 years ago we worried about saying these words on.
I don't worry about it anymore.
Nah.
What are they going? Beep.
What are they going to do?
I just don't worry.
You're out of our show.
Yeah. But I think to answer your question, I think they get another round. I think, do they deserve another round? I don't know if they don't.
The problem I have is this:
who's bet? Who are you going to get?
Here's the thing:
prime time.
You're gonna. Dable was the coach of the year 2 years ago.
Right. You can coach.
you've lost a lot of the team, but the team is so bad that whatever you lose doesn't really matter. If you fire Shane and keep Dable,
Oh, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Did
they just do a reverse?
They did. No.
Oh
no, they had him in the backfield too. Anyway,
you can't. If you're going to fire,
you can't keep Dable and get rid of Shane. Cannot happen. Won't happen.
And so it's either you keep both or you lose both.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think they're going to end up keeping both. I think this year is, but the problem also is, okay, you get Sanders or you get Ward. I'm assuming you get one of the two.
Okay. I think that's a bad idea.
I know.
I've said it a couple of years now. This draft is horrendous for quarterbacks.
Or are you going to just pick up Justin Fields?
No, you're going to pick up Sam Darnold.
Why is Sam Darnold going to come to this team? I guess it's the only place he can be a starter.
Ding, 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 ding.
And
we know he can handle New York.
Did he?
No, he did not.
I was going to say, that's really not where we're going with this. I mean, he didn't handle New York very well the first time. I don't know. See, I don't know. They screwed him up so bad.
They did, but it's not like it's the Yankees. It's not like the Giants have so much more talent than the Jets had back then.
No.
So, I mean, are you going to draft? Oh, I love Molly McGrath. You're going to draft a quarterback to start right away with that team? No, that's a bad idea. You're going to. Let's assume you don't do that, and now you're going to draft a quarterback to sit for a year or two.
Then the coach is going to be fired anyway, so it's not going to matter. The question is this, though. This is such a weak.
That's Katie George.
Yes, I'm aware. This is such a weak draft.
For everything?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
okay.
Unless you're going to now, there's 2 or 3 really good corners coming out. The Giants desperately need a corner.
Yep. One of them just won a Heisman.
One of them won the Heisman. Will Johnson from Michigan's the other.
Yep.
But there's really nobody.
Do you think you're going to win another game this year? You got 2 games to go. No. Okay. So you think you're going to be the top?
No, there's 3 games left.
3 games. You think you're going to be a top 2 pick in the draft? That's where it comes down to us. Okay. And they're not going to trade out of that because the Giants don't trade.
No, they traded 2 years ago. They traded first round picks to the Bears.
That's right.
To get Fields.
That's right.
But they're not going to. I mean, most likely they're going to go quarterback. Because let's just
as they say in Blazing Saddles, I think that'll be a mistake.
Here's the problem. So, okay, what are we going to? We're going to pick up Kirk Cousins. That does us nice catch. Oh, never mind. I dropped it.
Well, it would have been.
We're going to pick up Kirk Cousins. What good does that do us? It just stalls the year.
Yep.
Now, again, it's you'll probably pick them up for $1 million.
But here's my problem. Do you think a quarterback with the talent level that the Giants has can play well? Because if he can't, then you are throwing him to the wolves and doing exactly
so
what the Jets
exactly
did.
are you supposed to do?
You're supposed to build up the outside talent.
You have Neighbors.
Yes, and I think you add to that.
You're going to pick a wide receiver number 1.
No, I'm saying you're supposed to build.
They have 75. They have 75 million, I think, in free agency.
Right. So what? So
you're going to trade for T? You're going to pick up?
No. Well, you might, but no, I'm not saying wide receivers, so to speak. I'm saying you build talent around the quarterback before you plug the quarterback in.
They've brought in 3 linemen.
Yep. How many have worked?
1.
Right.
They drafted the center. The linemen.
So did we. So we don't know anything about centers.
Yeah. This idea that anyone who's not a
scout can
can
tell you what a center does.
Can determine anything on an offensive line, I think, is utter crap. Unless you're pancaking people like Orlando Pace used to.
Yep.
But
my point is, build around the quarterback,
then you would trade out.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, then here's your problem.
There's nobody to trade out for.
Well, that's my point.
Who's going
to trade up? Who are you going to trade up for? Who's going to trade with you? Because the Raiders are going to be 1.
Yep. And they're going to take
The only
Sanders Award.
Sanders Award. Say the Giants are 2.
Yep.
The only team.
The only other team is my team.
There's one other.
Hold on. I don't know what the other is.
The Titans.
Oh, the Titans. If Levis doesn't win the next 3 games.
They're benching Levis. Mason Rudolph starting this week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Or Pittsburgh.
No, Pittsburgh's re-signing Wilson.
Okay.
I mean, they'll sign him to a Geno Smith deal. They're not signing him to a $40 million a year deal.
Okay. So, yeah, then you go get Justin Fields.
That would, if we're going to go that way, that's what I would.
Or you go get Sam Darnold, or you go get Kirk Cousins for a year or two. And I'm not saying you should get Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins, I am telling you, is going to San Francisco. I'm telling you, they will not pony up for Brock Purdy.
You don't think they franchise Purdy?
You know what a franchise quarterback
It's
costs?
50. I know, I get it. So pretty much what happens to
Wait, is Purdy in? I don't think Purdy. I think Purdy has one more year. I think they could renegotiate for him this year, but I don't think that is. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back to the regularly scheduled presentation. Here is Brock Purdy's contract. Is he a free agent? He is not a free agent next year. He has $1 million contract next year. So he'll be back next year. The question is, would he be back in the following year? And would he play without an extension? I'll tell you right now, if you're a quarterback that's playing for $1 million, you are stupid playing without an extension. By the way, Micah Parsons saying, oh, I'll only take 30. Thanks, Micah. Can I have the other 10? First of all, how much leverage are you losing by telling Jerry Jones I'll take $10 million less? Because I guarantee you Jerry's not doing that for you.
No.
All right.
And do you really believe that that's going to happen?
Yeah, I do.
You think Parsons will take $10 million?
I think he'll take like 35. I don't think he'll take 40. I don't think it. He's like, what's the difference between 30 and 40 million? I was like, you went to school at least for 1 year, right? It's $10 million.
I'd say it's a pretty good school.
Yeah.
They can do 40 million.
It's $10 million. Okay. Last 5 minutes. Head out. We are in that 5-minute window. Sir.
I got to kind of. Damn, I don't really have too much to say.
All right. Merry Christmas to all and to all good night.
Fair.
And
happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, which happens on the same day this year, the
That's
latest
so
it has ever been. Hey, for all non-Jews, you guys get to open your presents first this year. That's the first time in history for us.
Well, yeah, that's true.
We've never had Hanukkah after Christmas. And you can open it up on Christmas Eve, and we don't get it.
Hanukkah goes into
New Year's. Yep, into New Year's. We will have a show sometime this week. We're not sure when that will be.
Are we doing a year in review, or are we just going to do a normal show?
I think we do a year in review after the New Year, right?
That is true. You'll be in Marrakesh,
I will
Casablanca,
or
Median, or some other freaking place. Good Lord.
Waving high and by. And, okay, for Seth Kamens, I'm Sean Palmer, Seth and Sean Sports. We'll do this again next year. Peace out, everybody. See ya.
Have a good one.